The next leap, powered by partnership and driven by possibility. A joint vision and initiative to empower ITES as portfolio AWS partners. Presenting Sachin Dubey VP Cloud BU Head Redington Limited in conversation with Dave Ramnani, Head of SMB and Mid-Market AWS, and Swapnil Yadav, Co-founder and CTO Cloud Xenia in Redington's Confab.
Thank you, Dave, for joining us, and thank you, Swapnil, also for that. It's a pleasure.
AWS, as you've hopefully heard at the start of the presentations, today roughly we have around 40,000 SMBs that have adopted the cloud. So today there is a huge opportunity and all of them are not on the cloud. So the only way that we are going to be able to go after and serve this large SMB market is through partners, right? And when we say partners, these are broadly two types of partners that we see. We have system integration partners who, let's say, understand a little bit about the IT ecosystem. They probably understand how to help them to migrate to the cloud, maybe manage their ERP systems, manage their any kind of IT workload within the SMB. Or you could look at what we call as a ISV, a software vendor. So they have built some application for either the line of business, specific to an industry, or again a horizontal application. So those are the two types of ISV. So broadly a system integrator or an ISV. In terms of how we would like to do that, we have partnered strategically with Redington, and they will provide all the kind of building blocks required to get you there. Right? You heard about the commercial incentives, but also more importantly is the technical capabilities. How do we help you to build these competencies of the cloud? If you have an idea, or if you have an existing application that's already working, that may be working, let's say, on premises, how do we help you to SaaSify that? Right? Today it's about giving it in a subscription model to the customer so that they don't really need to worry about the underlying infrastructure. So that is the trend. As you know, India is the SaaS capital of the world, right? You have the largest SaaS companies here, but it's always been built in India for the world. But I do believe now it will become built in India for India, right? So the whole SMB ecosystem now, we believe, is ready for, like you said, ready to adopt the cloud, ready to buy these package solutions.
We started our journey. Post-COVID, we always have seen the startup growth in India, outside the India, everywhere. So after that, we founded Cloud Xenia, and then with the team of all the DevOps and all the engineers, we started all the competency programs, and we applied for the APN, and then completed the competency, all those things together. If I talk about media and gaming industry, which we spoke right now, that is something Cloud Xenia's core services, I would say. That is something which we prefer with the customer, serve those services. Why APN and why the partner programs? That is something which you'll need to understand whenever we are working with certain customers. You need to understand why partnership with the Redington or partnership with the AWS comes into the picture, because sometimes you are not able to complete few things in terms of not only technical, but there are few other aspects that needs to be completed to make a deal, or maybe make a zero to Z completion. That's how the AWS and partners like Redington comes into the picture.
The first key priority, I think there are 3-4 of them. The first one is, we call it migration and modernization in the cloud. Any customer that you are working with will have some kind of IT workload. Typically that may be on premises, that may be on a VMware setup, and we will have to basically go and understand and explain the value of moving to the cloud. To be able to do that, we basically do a calculation of a total cost of ownership over the next 2, 3, 4 years. We try to explain, as you move, what are the underlying benefits that you will get from a migration. The next priority that we are looking at this year and going forward is to how do we create industry specific solutions. So what we are trying to do with each of our partners is try to explain them to create, we call it, let's say, a fixed scope, fixed price kind of a small solution. These could be, we call it repeatable solution. Let us say if you are servicing FSI customers, these could be NBFCs or banks, insurance companies. Specifically for that vertical, what are those repeatable solutions that you can develop as part of the financial supply chain? If it could be a credit scoring model, it could be a KYC process, it could be the analytics part, data dashboarding part for financial customers. So that could be an example. The third one, I would say a big priority, and obviously at a company it's almost number one priority, is the phenomenon of GenAI. Right now, if you look at it, cloud created that, let's say the platform almost 15-16 years back when it was invented for you to get access to compute and storage at the click of a button. Right, so you could unleash whatever creativity and build that in an OPEX model versus a CAPEX. And people now understand the value of, like we said, maybe only 10-15% of the entire market is in the cloud, but at least that has been created, that is a well-established mechanism. Now what GenAI is also doing is, it's basically saying, hey, we can improve your productivity by 5x, 10x, right? So we've started to see that already in the developer space. From a partner lens, those are the top three that I would say that one should look at. How do you migrate people, and as you do that, modernize them in the cloud? How do you start to think of industry solutions, and then how do you actually think of GenAI in pretty much every solution that you are working on?
Okay, so choosing AWS was not hard for us because, so as I told, we have been already working with AWS since so long. So it was very sure decision for us to make that if we are going forward with in the cloud thing, we are going and moving forward with AWS, multiple region flexibilities, the security concerns, everything, whatever. There are many. We have been listening since very long, so I won't go there. But yeah, that was very sure thing for us. If I talk about Redington, when we were finalizing this thing, where which distributor we should go on, there were few discussion happened with our founder Ashwini and our team Redington in that, and our vibes matched the things, the requirement which we had, everything matched, and that's how it's been almost more than a year now that we have been working with Redington, whether it is about reselling, whether it is about any new technical bottlenecks if we are facing. We have been reaching out with the Redington team. The support has been great.
There is this famous saying that there is no compression algorithm for experience, right? So AWS, obviously, when we started to invent concept of the cloud, we continue to be very, very innovative at the core, right? The core needs in terms of, let us say, the security, even the cost. A lot of the times we hear this it's like a perception in the market that, oh, AWS, it's kind of premium, it may be a little expensive, right? But when you actually, as a partner and as we go down, there have been 119 price reductions since the company has started. So in fact, our MRP has only gone down. It has never ever increased. And so that is a core philosophy. I think the company continuously has remained very innovative on those core things, right? So there are multiple reasons why, if you're thinking about AWS, just definitely go read about the history. The core needs, I believe, we are very customer obsessed. Everything that we develop is working backwards from the customer. So we are constantly looking at how do we make sure that the cost benefit is there, and we continually, whatever savings that we have, we bring it back to the customer. And we are seeing that continuously in the customers that we work with. In terms of security, like I said, in terms of scale, there are at various stages we have crafted those right level of competencies, and we will give you the guidance throughout that to make sure that you are successful as part of the journey, right? So I think that is very, very specific to each partner, and we are happy to take that offline and understand your use case, and then we'll give you the right guidance.
Thank you so much, Dev and Swapnil. And I think cloud has also given the opportunity where small companies or ITs or SMBs can compete with the larger player. You don't have to have a muscle power to serve the larger audience or customer base. And that's why we see, like they mentioned, we are factory for SaaS. We have largest number of SaaS available in India, which is being served to the global customers as well. Right? Please feel free to reach out to us for any inquiry, any query you have about the AWS adoption. We'll be happy to help you on all the stages of your cloud journey.